What is happening, team? Welcome to another episode of the Thrive Forever Fit Show. I'm your host, Jay Nixon, and today is all about inspiration and transformation with a little bit of disruption thrown in there just for funsies. Today, guys, you guys are going to meet my client, Cara, who is absolutely amazing. You're going to love her story. I'm going to hit you with a little highlights just to get you excited. 15 pounds down, and that's not even the cool part. She didn't join my coaching program. She didn't hire me as a coach and a mentor to even lose weight. She didn't even know she needed to lose 15 pounds. It actually happened as a side effect of her just getting ultimately healthy. But the cool thing is Cara is extending what she's learning in the Thrive Forever Fit program, and she's helping other people transform their lives as a certified health coach. I'm super pumped about today's episode. You guys are going to love Cara as much as I do. Saddle up, get ready. Here she comes. What's going on, buddy?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Thanks for doing. My hair's a little wonky today. I just came home from the studio and I've got this like a little weird part thing going on. But hey, it's not about me today. It's all about you. I want the focus to be on you. So okay, let's jump right in. So just like I said, you were part of the Wellness Lab. Obviously, so I'm going to pause really quick. You know Amanda, and I met Amanda out here with Jill a couple of years ago, and that's kind of how this whole thing, kind of the ball started rolling. But you know Amanda, you guys put on boot camps and things like that together. But your first experience with me was just joining the Wellness Lab Launchpad, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Amanda had invited us all into this wellness lab, and none of us knew what this was about. We had no idea. Like, are we doing a study here? We didn't know what it was.
Right. When your friend tells you to go somewhere, you're just like, okay, I'll meet you there. Right.
Yeah.
Well, which is kind of cool. Now with that, so you joined the Wellness Lab, and then that was in April. And then in May, I just so happened to be launching one of our Ignite programs like we're doing right now. You joined that program probably with very little information about me or any of those types of things. I mean, I think Amanda and Jill and those guys had read the book and had done a lot of the other things, but like you kind of, I mean, we all won't call it blind faith, but you trusted Amanda in that process. What was it like to go from the Wellness Lab into the Ignite program? And then I just want to kind of like fast forward to like where you are now and all the cool things that you're doing.
Yeah, it was really blind. I just kind of trusted Amanda was talking about you, and I could just see the change in her. And I was like, well, this is cool. I'm an open book. I'm like, hey, if this guy's about health and wellness, that's what I'm all about. I'm going to check him out and see what he's about. Yeah. So of course I'm curious, and I'm going to take information and guidance wherever I can get it. Even if it's a little bit here and a little bit there. I was like, hey, I'll take a look. And then, I joined the program. I was a little bit leery. I was like, I don't know what it's about. And thankfully my husband is very supportive, and he's like, oh, try it out. Like, see what happens. So, I did. And I just really started to learn more about you and what your values were as a coach for us, and what you like, just your heart and your passion of what you were going to put into us. And that really started to show through. I think it might have even been the second, what did we do? Maybe the Mindful Revolution was first, and then the Ignite. I can't remember how that went.
Yeah, it was Mindset Revolution, and then we went into the Ignite. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was the Ignite program that I think you had us do the core values worksheet. Yeah. And that's where it just went. It just was like, this is it. This is who I need. And this is what it's about, because your core values and doing that worksheet was just like, the light bulb went off, and it was like, this is it. This is the person I need and the people that I need in my life, to help me take that next step in what I needed with my own health and wellness journey, and also helping my clients with their health and wellness journey. Like you say, you have that circle of success, and you kind of look around and you go, okay, what's next, and who's going to help me with this? And thankfully that happened, and I'm very grateful for that. So
I'm super grateful too. Let's talk a little bit about that. Let's expand on that, because I mean, you're in the health kind of world. I mean, you guys are helping people with transformations through your boot camps and physical fitness and all those types of things. So you were already somebody who had an understanding of, you know, the principles of fitness, the principles of weight loss, the principles of nutrition. So I think this is a really cool transition because a lot of times, you know, and you know, one of my core values is I'm a lifetime learner. Like I believe, like I always want to be like, I'm a sponge. So if somebody says, hey, I know a lot about nutrition and fitness and transformation, I'm like, I don't ever say me too. I'm like, tell me more. And so I think that's something really cool about you is as a certified health coach and somebody who was already doing kind of what it is that we're doing, it would have been really easy for you to say, oh, I know everything. Like I don't need to do that. So first of all, I want to acknowledge you for being an awesome human and knowing that we can always continue to learn. So was there ever any conflict there? Like for you, like as a health and fitness, you know, purveyor, to join a program like this?
There was a little bit because I didn't want to be like the little bit of conflict of like, I don't want to be swayed from what I'm already doing and what's already working with helping my clients. So, and there was sometimes, like you always say, don't get derailed in the details. And I had to really get over that because I'm like, oh, he's saying this, but I'm teaching this. And then I was like, and I really had to get over that. And that might be an ego thing too, I would think, too, is getting over that and going, hey, this is a health and wellness journey. And like you say, it's not linear. So what works, and I could see that. I'm like, oh, well, this client is struggling with this. So maybe Jay's information in this area that I wasn't teaching before could help them. And it really has changed a lot of what I teach. And it's just like you say, like my perspectives and it's broadened my knowledge and I can just help them more and really get down to the root of things. So there was a little bit of conflict there on what my principles were and what I've been teaching people. I've been in the health and wellness industry for over 8 years. So of course I've built a lot of that. So I just had to get over it and get over myself and go, hey, no, this is what I need to be able to help them more.
Yeah.
So,
you know what, that's amazing that you were able to have that discussion with yourself and kind of, you know, evolve to that next level, because I totally agree. It's like, it's one of those things where not everything I say is going to be applicable in the way that I say it. But what it is it's just a perspective or a principle that if you can look at it and say, okay, well, I can see how that would fit in right here. Like that's when you really start to have unbelievable success, because it's like I always tell you and everybody else, it's like, guys, like if we had that quiz and it was $1 million quiz and it was, you know, I put a salad on the plate and I put a donut on the plate, like you'd win the money every single time. Right. So we're not really talking about like the simplistic nature of that. We're talking about how you take the information and then how you can apply it into your own life and then into the life of others. What I love about you is that, and this is one of my big values is like, I want to help people so that they can help people. And I think you're doing that. And that lights my soul on fire, because I know that it's not stopping with you. It's going from me to you to somebody else to somebody else. And that's one of the coolest things about what it is that you're doing that I absolutely love. And then you lost 15 pounds just by accident almost.
Yeah, I didn't even know I really needed to. I was kind of happy with my weight. I was like, I'm good. Like I can manage this. And I would just, you know, when things didn't feel right, and it just kind of, it kind of happened by using your principles and really, you know, just implementing a lot of those things. And it was a huge shift in mindset and just, you know, my relationship with food. Like, you know what, I wouldn't be here if I didn't have a story behind that. Like health and wellness is something that I'm very passionate about. And I am an emotional eater. I love food. Like, and I had to change that story about myself and you know, changing that and digging deep into that. And it's something that I still have to be very aware about. And because emotional eating is like, you never know when that emotion storm is going to hit. Right. And so what do? You know, we turn to food, or we turn to booze, or we turn to this. And now I have changed that story in myself so that I know places to turn and what to do in those situations. Yeah. And it really is, it's not food and the, you know, the working out. It was really about all those 5 areas of life that you talk about. And for me, it's building that foundation in all of those areas so that when life happens, you have that foundation built. Like I call it preparing for impact. So, and it's not being fearful. Like, I don't want anybody to think that's being like, I'm not living in a fearful mind of what if, or what if this happens. But guess what? Life happens in all areas of our life, and it will happen. It's inevitable. It will happen. And if we don't work on those 5 areas and build that foundation, when life happens, what happens? Like, we can go down, but if we have that foundation, we kind of hit that foundation. We go, no, I got this. I can work with this. Yes, I might have fallen down and this might have happened, but I know the tools. I have the tools in my back pocket. I know what to do. And then this group of people that is around us to support us, because guess what? We are going to fall, and it's just, that's my thing is I'm like, you know, we got to prepare for impact because it's going to happen. Something's going to happen, and let's do it. We can take control of that. And that's what I'm super passionate about teaching people is like, let's do this. You got to build this and work on it. Here's the tools, find out what works for you. And
that's exactly why I teach the principles and the tools and the foundational pillars that we work on. Because like you said, not only do we don't get a warning when things are about to go bad. Very rarely do we, right? It's usually like, even if we get a warning, we don't pay attention to it. We ignore it. And then the next thing you know, it's like, holy, what? And then now then if you're not prepared, then the emotional eating, the emotional drinking, the emotional self-abuse kicks in, and then it's bad. I had a high school coach one time, and not one time, but my high school coach used to always say, he called practice and working out and all those things preventive maintenance. And so he was always, we're going to do preventive maintenance so that when the situation occurs, we're ready for it. Like, most people wait until the problem happens, then they go into a corrective response. What we do in Thrive Forever Fit and Ignite and all the programs and the teachings that I do is that we are prepared for anything and everything that comes our way, because we're building that foundation that we build our entire house on, right? From everything, from your food to your finances, to your family, to your faith, to your, for your everything. And it makes so much sense. And then when you do get that, that knock over the head, you can handle it. It's not that big of a deal. And then you said something else that was I believe is unbelievably important. It's the support and the accountability from people just like you doing the same things you're doing. Talk about that a little bit, because a lot of times as humans, we find ourselves isolating, or like, I'm just going to handle this on my own. Like, I'm going to figure this out. Like, and that never works, does it?
No, it doesn't. As much as you can try. That was a really big moment for me too, is and something that resonated with me too, is that you said you're an introvert. And I was like, whoa, he's an introvert and I'm introvert and he's doing this, what I want to do. Yeah. I'm like, I could do this. Totally. So being an introvert and being also afraid of vulnerability, it's a big step to move into this and be like, oh, these people actually care. I don't even know who they are, most of them. Right. But it's the engagement and the connection. Like we're humans, we're hardwired for connection, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert or right. Whatever you are, we as humans need connection. So if you don't have that connection, and you talked about accountability, like people ask about support. Well, my family doesn't support me, or my friends don't support me. Well, that's maybe not where you need to look. This is why you need places like this where, and I get it, these people don't know you, but guess what? Like I've created friendships in this group. I know I could message you, I could message Marissa, I could message anybody in this group and be like, hey, and they will help me. and it is an amazing group. And honestly, with the accountability, I think you had said it, and I'm really bad for trying to remember quotes, but something about accountability, and you can't keep accountability helps to keep you consistent. I don't know if that's quite right, but
the further you move away from accountability, the less consistent you become.
Yes. And it's very true. When you said that, I was like, that's how important accountability is. And that there's not just accountability in that group, it's the support. You have people asking questions that you might be afraid to ask, or you didn't know how to ask it, or you were like, oh, I didn't even realize I was struggling with that. And you ask or somebody asks the question, and then it kind of moves on that, and you can just see the growth in the group that the people have. It's an amazing place to be. So,
oh, that's so cool. Let's talk on that really quick, because I mean, I am an introvert. You are an introvert. You know, vulnerability. Now I'm really comfortable with it. 20 years ago, like, I would have avoided it like the plague. I mean, I would have moved. I would have relocated before if vulnerability found out where I live. But now I'm totally cool with it. I know it's a strength. I know it's something that I need to use to better myself and to help people around me. How has that been for you? Like, being like, okay, team, like, here it is. Like, you know, how's that been?
It's hard. I do find I am very much more open and vulnerable with my clients and the people I teach, because that passion just comes through. And it just lights me up. One-on-one, like, people around me, like I always say, like, I have a hard time, like, I don't want anybody to feel bad if I'm being, I'm having a good time and life is happy, like, oh, so just being really open and honest and authentic. I'm still working on that, and sharing.
We all are.
Sharing that. Yeah. As an introvert, it's hard, and adversity too. Like, I'm not confrontational, but I'm learning through this too. Like, a lot of this has come, like, I wouldn't have, I started teaching yoga online and all that, and I don't think I would be there. Well, I know I wouldn't if it wasn't for this group and you coaching us and teaching us to go do what you need, like what you are designed to do. And so that is vulnerability for me too, and it allows me to be creative. So opening up in those areas has helped me to open up in other areas.
Totally. So it's impacted your life, not just within this group, but also in your everyday interactions and everything.
Yeah. And learning the safe places, right? Like, my husband has commented, he goes, yeah, you talk more, you're more open with me, you talk things out. Sometimes I feel bad for him because I think I talk too much.
You don't talk too much. That is such a huge, I want you to pause really quick and acknowledge that. Like, that is so amazing that your communication with your husband has gotten better, because you know this, I know this, everybody listening knows this, even if they don't want to admit it. Communication is really the foundation on which we grow and evolve, or it can be the thing that really holds us back. And so I love the fact that stuff like this it gets me more excited than 15 pounds or 10 dress sizes or this or that, like, because I know that one thing that you've shifted on is going to be monumental in your life, just moving forward forever. And I think that's so cool. And I also want to say this. We're all a work in progress. Me, you, everybody. Like, guys, we're imperfect creatures, and we're always going to have these, like, I mean, for some reason, I don't know why, self-doubt is one of these things. I don't care how successful you are. The most successful people I know have conversations with me about, man, what do you think? Like, that, you think I'm doing okay? Like, but on the surface, you'd be like, you would think they think they're a rock star. So I want everybody listening to understand that no matter what somebody's outward appearance looks like or seems, we all struggle. We all grow. We all need to keep evolving. But that's the key, is you've got to keep pushing yourself forward and don't allow yourself to regress back into those, like, isolations, because both of us are introverts. And if we do that, we know the end result is not powerful.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that. What would you tell somebody right now that's not even on the fence, but just like, you know what? I don't love exactly where I'm at, but I don't even know what to do. Like, I don't know what the next step looks like for me. Because what you said a while ago about what your husband said, it was like, what do you have to lose? Right?
Yeah. I would say, I think this journey is a lot about learning to love yourself. Yeah. So you don't want to, this is something we talked about a lot in the past week, is this is for you and learning self-love. And I get it when people are overweight or they're stuck, they're like, how can I find self-love? Like, where do I find that? How do I get that? Like, what do you mean? So something that I've also learned is sometimes you can steal somebody's belief, even if it's for a little bit. Totally. And that's what helped me, is that, you know, because I was there, I was like, how do I love that? How do I deeply love that? And having this group and having a coach that actually believes in you and speaks into you. Yeah. And that's where you get that. You can steal that for a little bit until you can learn to build on that. And that's where that group is going to help you, because they are going to love on you, and Jay's going to love on you, Marissa's going to love on you, and Tiffany's going to love on you. And it's going to speak into you, and that's going to help you grow. Because guess what? Like, at the end of the day, you're not going to work out every day because you hate yourself. Like, that's not what we want. We don't want you to work out and eat healthy because you hate how you look. No. We want you to work out and eat healthy and do all these great things because you love yourself and you care about yourself, not because you hate yourself. And I get it. Some people don't know where to find that love, and this is the place where you find it. And this is an investment in you. And if you don't invest in yourself, like I will say, like, we only have, our body's the only place we have to live. So why don't, you better take care of it. Right. And yeah, I would just say, like, if any of this, feels like this is what you want or where you want to go, like, look up Jay's core values, read them. If they don't inspire you, if they don't inspire you and be like, oh, this is the guy, then, well, I don't know what you're looking for.
I appreciate that. Something you said really resonated with me. I actually got goosebumps when you said it, because I talk about this all the time. You talk about borrowing someone else's belief about you. Like, I want people to understand, and I know you know this, my vision is so big that I promise you can fit inside of it for as long as you need to. And then your own vision will start to grow in response and in the same magnitude as what I believe in you and about you. And that's a very, very true statement. And I tell people that all the time. Like, I know right now you may not think you're capable of A, B, C, or D. I can promise you that you are, and I will help you get there. And if you need to rely on my belief in that for right now, that is totally cool, and that will work. And so that's a beautiful way of putting that. I think that's amazing. I can't thank you enough for just doing this. Like, I get inspired by you guys. I know you guys, it seems like I'm the one always doing all the talking, but I'm really watching you guys and watching you grow and evolve, and reading all of your posts and listening to you today has me excited about the next step and the next phase and the next part of all of our journeys, because I love that we get to impact the world by making ourselves better. And so I just want to thank you for doing that. I think that's unbelievably awesome.
Well, I just want to thank you for inviting me to do it. It was an honor, and I love to be able to share. And the best part is we all get to do this together. And I think that's what it's really about.
So cool. I am going to drop you down to the bottom. I'm going to just give some parting words, and then you and Marissa are going to have a little chat before you go.
Sounds good. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Guys, I hope you loved that interview as much as I did. Unbelievable story and energy. I literally have goosebumps all over right now. So here's what I would do if I was you. I would just pause and ask yourself those questions. Are you where you want to be right now? And then what's the worst that can happen? And I would flip that statement to what's the best that could happen? And I think if you'll do that and couple that with why not you, I think you'll find all of the answers you're looking for. And I can promise you this, if you join us in Ignite, if you someday join us in Thrive Forever Fit, if you join us in an Ignite down the road, if you do anything with us, I promise you it will be life-changing for you. So I want to say thank you guys so much for joining me for the last 6 days. There's a rumor that I may be doing a last call Q&A tomorrow. Marissa and I are going to chat about that, and we're going to come up with the time. So be looking out on the page. We'll be posting that up, and you guys can join that as well. If you have any final questions, or is Ignite right for me? Like, if there's anything I can do to help you get to the place that you need to be, I'm definitely open for that. Marissa, Tiffany, any of the team can answer any of your questions. But I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'm uber grateful for you guys showing up this week. I'm proud of you, and just keep being your best self. All right, guys, we'll see you in a bit. Bye.